Hi everyone. So today, I read Susan Stryker's 100 Years of Transgender History. Um, Honestly, it it was more of a discussion and an analysis of different things that had happened within um, LGBT history. It had discussed more about the development of the thoughts of um, wanting to transition between genders. A lot of it had discussed the evolution of those thoughts. It basically had begun around the 1850s, the development of the transition of the thoughts of transitioning from a man to a woman or a woman to a man and becoming like the gender you really wanted to be. These honestly it started with like the laws in the 1850s that had basically told people they can't wear something outside of their natural born sex. Um, and it was a list of many states, not all of them, but it was a lot of laws. But the introduction of cities and industrialization had let people who wanted to transition or um, maybe experiment in the different sides of gender and how they appear in front of people, because cities are more liberal, they have less of a harsher view. There's many people, a bigger nightlife, kind of like today. Like it still is much representative of that today. um Also, other things the article touches on is the expansion of medical science and how that had helped the trans movement and like the trans development of surgery, gender reassignment surgery, gender transformation surgery, and how top surgery, bottom surgery. But it didn't go in depth in that. But it had said that Dora Richter, Dora Richter had been the first male to female gender transformation surgery by Magnus Hirschling. I honestly found that really important. I really liked to know that Magnus Hirschling was really a pioneer in trans evolution and started basically it all. Like, he developed the ideas, he took into action, and also his library was burned down by the Nazis in the 1930s when World War II was going to begin. And because obviously Hitler was homophobic, transphobic, didn't allow any of those ideas, but it was more of like eye-opening. Like, that was one of the biggest libraries out there in Germany. And I'm happy to say, like, Germany really started a lot of the trans recognition, trans evolution, because a lot of these people are German or Austrian, and they speak German as well. And it shows that Germany really revolutionized trans history. And I love that. That really means something because I'm fluent in German, and it takes a huge amount of like pride in that. Then another thing they discussed was Virginia Price, and she was a trans woman who did not decide to transition, and I really liked to hear about that because that's more common today than anything. And then it also discussed Christine Jorgensen, who did transition as well. Well, not as well, but she had revolutionized like being a military man into a more of a feminine woman, and that shocked people, and I love that. I'm gonna close this discussion with a question, and here it is. How would you compare the the acceptance back then of trans history, like acceptance and trans rights, to today. And it may be similar or different, but I'd like to hear your point of view, wherever you're from, or now, because everyone's back home. But it matters. Thank you.